I'm so sorry it has been so long since I filmed a video. I'm going to get more into why in my next video, but you can also probably hear that I have lost my voice. Honestly, I lost it about 3 weeks ago. I was planning on filming this video and then I've had everything ready to go, but I lost my voice, and of course I can't film without a voice, and I'm really sorry that it's still not fully back, so it doesn't sound great, but I didn't want to leave it much later because I normally get this video out in November because that's when people want to watch these videos. You want to know and get ideas. Today's video is more of a exciting one. I do absolutely love filming this video each year, and it always seems to be my most controversial video every single year. I get my most hate on these videos, which honestly, they do give me quite a chuckle with the comments that I get, because I get everything from like, you're a terrible mother, you hate your children are gonna hate Christmas and you're ruining Christmas, all of it. And then there's loads of people that say it's lovely, and I love them. But that's why I thought I would preface this year with a disclaimer. Apparently I need to put a disclaimer on these videos of what I got my kids for Christmas. I am sorry as well, I will be blowing my nose a fair bit. Apparently I have to preface this video with a disclaimer. So people tend to think that we don't get much for our children. So first of all, we have roughly £100 budget for each children. We have 3 children, a 10-year-old, a nearly 7-year-old, and a nearly 2-year-old. And we give them all, we technically have £100 budget for each kid, or an overall budget of £300. I will do my absolute best to spend as small amount as possible on the gifts. That doesn't mean my kids don't see that money. So last year we were way on the budget and we got a lot of hate for that. However, with the money that was left from that budget, we actually took all the kids to Harry Potter World and they loved it. It wasn't technically a Christmas present, but the money does go back to them in some way. So in January this year, we went to the Harry Potter World with the money, like as a home ed trip, with the money that was left from the Christmas budget. So all the people that said I'm terrible for not reaching the budget, I completely disagree. I think if you know what you want to get your kids and you can get it for way under budget, go you, and then you can use that money for something else. I've just realised I have a huge rip in my leggings. Honestly, it's just not the day for my appearance. We're gonna skip past that. But, so that's one disclaimer, is the money does all go to them, whether it's not indirectly or directly, because we get the cash, like we give them the cash, or we go do something with the leftover money. Sometimes it's the pantomime, sometimes it's Harry Potter World or an experience that they want to do. We also don't stick to £100 specifically for each child. So you will see that my youngest, who is nearly 2, we have pretty much got most of his things for free because we have quite a big age gap between our second and our third due to loss. And a lot of the stuff we gifted him last year and this year are things that we already had, that we had in storage that our older kids had grown out of. So with the money that we budget for him, we do invest as well into the bigger kids where they are maybe wanting other items that will also, they will benefit him when he gets to that age as well. And then my other thing is, what you see that we get our children is not everything that they get for Christmas. We have a humongous family. We don't have much family that live really close to us, but we have a very wide family, and my family in particular all had kids very young. So up until a few years ago, my children had great grandparents that were getting them, on both sides, that were getting them gifts. So my parents are divorced as well, so they get extra gifts. They have aunties and uncles and nieces and nephews. We have a very large extended family on both sides that will also get our children a ton of gifts. And my parents are, if you watch any of my other videos, you know that they used to go all out at Christmas, and that's one of the reasons we don't, and they are no different now. So when you're seeing what we get our kids as gifts, that's not all they're getting. They've got 1, 2, 3, like they'll get 3 sets of grandparent gifts because my husband's parents are still together. They also then get 4 sets of great grandparent gifts and great auntie and uncles, and then they have their actual aunties and uncles. There is a lot of people buying my children gifts, and I have noticed that my children, and they will say it themselves, they get overwhelmed when they get too much stuff. They don't like it. My eldest has said to me many times when we have gone to my parents' houses, like my mum's and or my dad's for Christmas, and they've got them a ton of what me and Joel would call tat. They come home quite overwhelmed and they're like, it was too much, I didn't like it. And we don't tell them to say that, it's nothing like that. Like they want what they ask for, and they don't expect or want more than that because they got what they wanted that's it. My eldest is neurodivergent, and he really gets overwhelmed with too much stuff. Like, if you've done the kids' love languages test, gift giving is not my kids' number ones. We get the gifts that they ask for, and they are so pumped about that. So they're my disclaimers. You're still going to give me hate comments, I'm sure, but I'm going to get into the video. So normally I have it all prepped and pretty and ready. This year I don't. I'm just not with it. We have all been so ill over the last few months. We're just unable to keep up with it. But I also have to preface this with, one gift hasn't yet arrived, annoyingly, but I can show you what it was because we've got one of them, just not the other. And then I haven't also got them any edible treats yet. So normally in their stockings, I will get them a few edible gifts. I haven't got them yet, but I will explain that. I also actually have no idea how much I've spent this year. So we're gonna add it up as we go, and see if I'm actually under or at or over budget, because I don't actually know. So I'll get them to write a list, but then often oh, that's not theirs, that's for a cousin. They'll often tell grandparents stuff from their list, so then I have to work around what they've got on their list. So I'm gonna go through all this, and I'm gonna cut it into piles, and then I will go through it with you. Also, I normally scour the web for secondhand items as much as possible, which I have done, but when it's come to their stocking fillers this year, I haven't, which I will get into as I get to them. There was also something up in the loft that I cannot get down myself. I will 100% need Joel's help for this, so I'll have to explain that when I get to it. Okay, so I've organised things into piles. I've got my list of how much I think everything cost, but I will need to track it as I go. So we'll start with my eldest, my 10-year-old. We decided this year, so our kids are homeschooled. If you don't know, we homeschool them. And we're starting to, especially with our eldest, get to an age where he's wanting to do more stuff online. He also does a lot of online lessons, like he does his Spanish lesson, he has got his therapy online. He has a lot of things online, as well as he's really getting into coding. Both of them are getting really into coding. And and he also does his maths and English currently, and his science online as well through IXL Learning. And we're becoming a lot more online learning for him at his age. We really try and limit our screen time in this house. We normally have like 30 minutes a day of leisure screen time, and then there's the bookwork screen time around it. But we're just noticing that there's this shift happening with our kids where there's becoming more online learning, especially with his like Spanish. He's about to start in the new year a full-on like Spanish class where he'll be having lessons online like nearly every day to make it more immersive. Like he's getting to that fluent stage, which is so exciting. Like this is one thing we said if we were going to homeschool, is that they had to learn an instrument and they had to learn a language, and I'm so excited seeing this come to life. But so what we decided this year was we are going to get both of our eldest kids, our 10-year-old and nearly 7-year-old, a laptop each. This is going to be very regulated. We are very much against allowing children to have access to a lot of technology. We will not be giving our children phones until they are old enough to buy them and run them themselves, which I'm hoping is around 16 to 18. And people can have a lot of opinions on that. This is just what we do. You do you, but me and my husband personally are very against social media and technology when it comes to our children. So there is a lot. My husband's already gone through what we've got them and put as many limits as possible, but we've got them both a laptop each. We got them both from Vinted, secondhand, and I'm not going to pretend that I understand anything to do with technology, because this was all my husband. It was my idea, his action. So what we got my eldest was from Vinted, this Dell laptop, and it's pretty good, pretty spanking new. It's got a little finger scanner which will really help him, and it comes with the charger and everything. He's already gone through and put so many restrictions on this. Like there's already a time limit put on there, and everything he goes on has to come through me to allow him to go on. But I've written it down. So that on Vinted was £85 for him, and we got him a bit of a better one because he does a lot more coding and a lot more on there than my middle. But also my middle's a lot younger, and we wanted to we didn't want to go buy them brand new expensive laptops because we don't know how they will respect them at the moment. My sons use my laptop, which is a quite expensive Apple product, and sometimes they are accidental, they are accidental prones where they might drop it or bump something into it or drop food on it, and that's mine, and I really don't want them ruining it. This way, it's like if they accidentally break it, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but we also want to teach them to look after their things. So we've got my eldest a £85 Dell laptop, which just has better spec, like RAM and all of that. My husband knows more. He said it was good. I'm trusting him completely on that because I honestly don't know. But that's for him under his tree. That is his main present. I also already know that my parents have already got the Lego sets that he's wanting. So there is that as well. That's why we kind of went off book a little bit of the laptop, because we know he's going to be so excited about having his own laptop. Laptops will not go into bedrooms. They will also stay downstairs at the dining room table because we don't have desks or anything at the moment. So the Dell laptop is his main present. Then the other under tree presents is we got, I don't know what one I'm going to give to what kid, but we've got 2 coding books. Probably this one, but I need to go through and see which one's better. They mostly use Scratch, but this is an open flap coding book, and it's just got loads of like information and details on that. So that's to go with their laptops. So they've, that's my eldest. I will show you my middles after I've shown you my eldest. And then we always try and get a couple of books under the tree. My kids are book obsessed. And for anyone who has kids that is obsessed with Minecraft, I highly, highly, highly recommend the Dave the Villager books. We actually started with listening to these on Audible, me and the kids, and we've all loved it. I really enjoy listening to them. But they also wanted hard copies, and they're quite hard to come by. If you want to buy them new on Amazon, they're like £20 each. So we got the first one for them a while back, and then I've been scouring the internet for months, and I've found this one, which is the books 6 to 10, because the first one is books 1 to 5. And this one was actually £10, which seems expensive, but new, they were still more expensive than that. And it's not in the best condition, but he'll still really love looking through it. And I really do highly recommend these. They're actually a really good story. So they're kind of his under the tree gifts. This year for Christmas, we've got my mum and my grandparents and my sister coming to ours for Christmas. So there will be more under the tree than what you're seeing. But this is why we've got more for their stockings this year, that are expensive gifts, rather than more under the tree gifts. So that's my 10-year-old's under the tree gifts, and my 7-year-old's is very similar. So like I showed you, he has got his own coding book, Scratch book. I don't know which one they're gonna both get. And then we got him a tablet type laptop. So it's still a laptop, but it was a bit cheaper, and it's got, I don't know how this works, my husband will have to teach me. And it's got like a pad, but you can take this off and use it as a tablet, and it's a way for him to learn to use the laptop with his hands and with like have different options, but he can still, it's still like a laptop, but it's not just a tablet. But this one was £65, and it's a Windows, and it came with all of the original box and covers and everything, which is really exciting, like really good. And again, my husband did the research on all this. I wish I could be more helpful, but I can't. So we've got them both a form of laptop, both a type of coding book. And then this is the other thing that's not here yet, is we also got the books 11 to 15 of Dave the Villager, and that was £5 secondhand. So one kid will get one book and they'll both love it. My second child, who's nearly 7, is getting to that stage where he's wanting to start reading a bit more, or he'll start reading chapter books. So having books that he wants to read is really helpful. So that's their under the tree books presents. I'm going to show you the eldest 2's stockings first, because they're very similar, and then I'll show you my nearly 2-year-old's gifts afterwards. So I'm going to tally up at the end how much I spent. For my eldest, we got them sets of pants. They really need pants and socks, so it's always a handy way to get them into the house. I do weirdly try and find like new secondhand stuff for this. I don't mean secondhand. If they're going secondhand, I'll take them if they're clean and stuff, but I haven't had the time or capacity to do that. So I actually, which I never ever do, I try to buy everything, or as much as everything secondhand as possible, or ethical, but it just wasn't in the cards this year. And you know what? Sometimes you have to give yourself some grace in them ways, but I did go to Primark to get most of the clothing aspects because it was just the easiest thing to do, unfortunately. So we got him 7 pairs of pants and a ton of socks. Please tell me in the comments if your kids lose socks as much as mine do. I'm pretty sure my kids currently only have about 2 or 3 odd pairs of socks at the moment. They are always consistently trying to find socks and we cannot find them anywhere. So some of these might not make it to Christmas, we'll see. But we got them, I got him a pair of Sonic socks. They're really into Sonic. There's 3 there. And then I got them some more boring, but 10 pairs of just normal socks. So that was £3 for the Sonic socks and £4 for the boring socks. And then we also got him a pair of Mario and Luigi slippers. These were £5. And that is the clothes thing. So I got them the slippers, the socks and the pants, all from Primark. Yeah, hopefully next year I'll have more of a capacity to do a better job with looking secondhand and in ethical options, but it wasn't in the cards this year. And then the 2 things that they also asked for that they're getting in their stockings is my eldest asked for the Minecraft on the Switch game because one of his best friends are moving to America and they want to play Minecraft together, but the easiest way is doing it on Switch apparently. I'm trusting that he knows what he's talking about because I don't. So we got him the Minecraft Switch game that I found secondhand for £12. And then our kids have Yoto players. I found them months and months ago secondhand. And it has been a godsend for nights. We have my eldest, where he is neurodivergent, he really does struggle with sleep. And he needs to have noise on in the background, stories and things. And we've slowly been collecting our Yoto library and my kids absolutely love it. And I tried to look secondhand for these, but because Yoto cards hold the value so well and they sell really quickly, I couldn't find what he wanted. So I got these, it's the Hogwarts library. It's not Harry Potter because they were far too expensive for the Harry Potter collection. It was like £190, but we got the Hogwarts collection, which is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Quidditch Through the Ages, and The Tale of Beedle and Bard. And that was, how much was it? This was £30, which that's the thing, Yoto cards are just so expensive, but my kids really do love them. And I love the fact that they can move down to to my younger ones. So that would be really good. So when my eldest is outgrown this, then my my younger can listen to it. And they all do share their Yoto players, but they have their own preferences. So that is everything that we've got for my eldest, stocking and under the tree. It doesn't look like much, but we also need to get a few edible gifts. So I normally get them a pack of the chocolate coins and like some Jaffa cakes and a few things like that. So realistically, I'll probably spend another £5 on each kid for like the little edibles that will go into the stocking as well. So it doesn't look like a huge amount now, but there will be edibles as well. And there are just more expensive gifts like that don't look like much, like Yoto cards and the Switch games. Like they don't take up much space, but they do take up a lot of budget. So now let's move on to my middle. So I've shown you we had the under the tree gifts, that top coding book, and then the Dave the Villager book that is coming. And then he too has his pairs of pants, 2 pairs of socks. We've got Pokemon socks, and then Marvel socks, and then some Pokemon slippers. So very samey. Then his Switch game was, so they were all the same price, sorry. You've got the pants were £9, the Pikachu socks were £3, and the Marvel socks were £5, and the slippers were £5. Oh, also the coding books I found really cheap. They were only £2. They were just £2 each, so each coding book was £2. And then the Switch game we got him was Super Mario. This one was quite expensive because I think it's quite a new game. I'm not too sure. Joel said to get this one. It was £20 for the Super Mario game, again secondhand. And then his Yoto card that we got him was the Wishing Chair trilogy. So you've got the 3 stories of Enid Blyton's The Wishing Chair, and these were £20, which is what he asked for. So that is everything that we got for our 2 big kids. And again, like I said, another £5 each for the like confectionery stocking filler items that we still need to get. My eldest gifts all come out to a total of £140, and my middle gifts all come out to a total of £134, which gives us a total of £295, which leaves us a £5 budget, technically, for my youngest. However, I knew going into this that the majority of the stuff I'm getting him will be free. So let me show you what I've got. First of all, the big present for him that he is most likely going to be getting, me and my husband still need to fully decide, but up in our loft we have, and I am not joking, I couldn't carry it even, especially not downstairs, but I couldn't carry it at all. It's a box about this big, full of wooden train tracks and vintage Thomas the Tank Engine battery powered trains. We collected this collection when my eldest was about 2. He was obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine, and we would always seem to find these vintage trains in charity shops near us. Someone must have gotten rid of collection because there was a huge box of the vintage first set of battery powered trains. They still work, they're amazing, and my sons were obsessed with this. I think this collection, like if we wanted to sell it, would probably be worth a couple of £100, because these trains are normally worth like £20-30 each, and we probably have about 30 to 40 of these trains. There's so many. Every character under the sun you can think of, we have the trains for. So we're thinking of gifting him that because he's starting to show an interest in trains. But then I have these items that I'm still not sure how I'm gifting him. All of these are items that my cousin was going to be, she said to me, she was like, look, I'm getting rid of these. Do you want them for your youngest? And I was like, sure, that'd be great. And I kept them in the loft for like 6 months, knowing that this will probably be his Christmas present. We've got an like hospital set, like hospital costume set. So it's got the little nurse's uniform and the injections and the stethoscope and all of that. We've also got a builder's set. So it's got like tools, hammers, screwdrivers and everything. With also the hat, like the high vis and the goggles. So he's got them like dressing up costumes. We're not 100% sure if we're giving this to him this year or probably next year, realistically, actually. Yeah, I think this is a bit too old for him. So, but it was just in the bag with everything else. So I think I'm going to give this to him next year, which is like a race to the Pattern Palace, like a number blocks game. So we're not going to give that to him this year, but we're going to be giving him the hospital set and the like builder's set. We also got him a pair of bluey slippers as well, which was £5. And then there's that humongous box of trains. Honestly, I can't even begin to explain how many trains, but that's probably going to be his main present. And these will be like, I don't know if I'm going to keep them in the boxes or put them in his stocking and then we'll put them into the boxes afterwards. And again, there's a few confectionery items that we will be getting him. So that's my nearly 2-year-old's gift, what we got him. So that has we've technically only spent £5 on my youngest, which does bring us to a total of £300. However, we do still need to get the confectionery. So I think I'm probably going to be over budget by about £15 this year. But that is everything that we got my kids for Christmas this year. So maybe I shouldn't say this, but we're going to. Let me know down below what you think. I'm sure I'm going to get the hate either way, which you're going to do you. I don't care. I know my kids better than anyone and they will absolutely love everything that we've got them and they're going to be so pumped. I also know that my mother has got them big gifts that they're going to be opening at the same time. So there's lots more that's coming all at the same time. That's everything for this video, guys. Sorry it's taken me so long to get it out to you. I'm hopefully going to get this edited as quickly as possible. But yeah, that's everything. I'll quickly grab the camera and show you the bundles on the floor so you can actually visualize them. I'm not sure if you've been able to see much while I've been filming. Let the comments begin, I guess. Thank you for watching, friends, and I will see you in my next video where hopefully I'll be explaining to you what's been happening since September and why I have not been uploading. Bye, friends. Have a great Christmas. Bye. This is what I've got my 7-year-old then. So we've got the slippers, the auto cards, the Switch game, scratchbook, the laptop, socks, pants, my eldest, oh, and obviously the Dave the Villager book, which should be here in a day or two. A Minecraft Switch game, the auto card, the coding book, slippers, pants, socks, Dave the Villager and his laptop, and then my youngest, the slippers, the costumes, and then upstairs obviously is the trains. So that's everything we got our 3 kids for Christmas this year.